All right, let's get to Joe Milton. So Joe Milton, we all know how the year ended against the backups of Buffalo. Seemed like he developed very well. A lot of people were talking about Joe Milton after that game. And this week down in Mobile was very interesting because Brian Baldinger of the NFL Network said that after getting a look at this year's crop, Milton could be a useful chip if the team wants to make a trade. Here's what Baldinger told SI, quote, after watching some of these guys at the Senior Bowl, I might think Joe Milton is my very best option if I'm looking for a quarterback right now. You might just be doing some backflips if you pull the string and negotiate with the Patriots for his services, unquote. So Baldinger comes out. He tells SI, hey, the way these quarterbacks look in Mobile, if I'm a team, I might be picking up the phone trying to acquire Joe Milton. Greg Bedard wrote about Milton at Boston Sports Journal. Here's what Bedard wrote. There's increasing belief around the NFL that the Patriots are at least contemplating a trade. Again, I'm not saying he's on the block right now, but the Patriots will likely consider it when everything settles with the front office and coaching staff. This is the key part. This is the key part to me. Bedard writes that some league executives believe the Patriots could get up to a third-round pick this year for Joe Milton. So some league executives believe that you could get a third-round pick for Joe Milton. If I could get a third-round pick for Joe Milton, I am 100% pulling the freaking trigger. I am taking that deal, and I am running with that deal. When you look at this draft, what many people are writing, what many people are seeing, what I am researching is that in this draft, you've got really the first top 10 to 15 guys. But once you get to like 20, the next 50 picks or so are going to be a lot of the same guy. There's a lot of similarities as far as you look at, talent and value. Let's just say, because it's easier to say, from 25 to 75 is a lot of the same kind of guy. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? But there's a lot of depth from 25 to 75. Like, you could get yourself a really solid football player in the middle of the third round this year. You might even be able to get yourself a really solid football player in the fourth round. Now, I know guys go every year, Puka Nacua. We could sit here and rattle off. I'm just saying it's more likely this year than in past years that you can find impact football players that can contribute to your football team in 2025. You can find those guys in the fourth round this year much more likely than you could in last year's draft. So if you're looking at that pick 25 to 75 sweet spot, I love that for the Patriots, right? Because right now the Patriots, they have the 4th pick, the 36th pick, the 69th pick, and the 77th pick. They have 4 picks in the top 77. Again, you got a top 5 pick, and then you have 3 other picks between 25 and 75, the sweet spot of this draft. Patriots already have 3 of those picks in that sweet spot. I know 77 is more than 75. I get it, but you get the point. If you're getting a third-round pick for Joe Milton, I have to believe that the team trading that third-round pick to you is a desperate football team. They're a team that needs a quarterback. That's why you would trade a third-round pick for Joe Milton, because you need a quarterback. Teams that need a quarterback are in the top 10. So it's possible that this third-round pick that you get for Joe Milton, if it was offered to you, would be in the top half of the third round. So now, if that is the case, you have 5. You have 5 picks in the top 77. You have 4 picks in that sweet spot from 25 to 75. That's a tremendous opportunity. 5 picks in the top 77, just call it 75. You have so many options. You've got a lot of holes on this team, right? A lot of holes in this boat that you got to plug. You got a lot of holes in the boat. If you've got 5 picks in the top 75, give or take a pick, top 77, if you've got 5 picks before you hit pick 80, man, you've got tons of things you can do. You can trade up, you can trade down, you can stick and pick. And this year, with that sweet spot, 25 to 75, you could be sitting there with all of those picks in hand. You can have 4 picks in that sweet spot, and now you can do whatever you want with those picks. You can use some of those picks to move back into the first round. You can use some of those picks to have 2 picks in the second round. There's so much versatility and flexibility to your draft if you can have that. To take a 6th-round pick in Joe Milton, who played one single solitary football game in his rookie season, to take that guy and get a 3rd-round pick for him, to me, would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Drake May is your franchise quarterback, folks. Joe Milton's not your franchise quarterback. Drake May is going to be the starting quarterback for this football team for the next, if things work out, 10 years, 12 years. In a perfect world, Joe Milton never sees the field. If you can get a 3rd-round pick for a guy who might never see the field, you do that every day of the week. You absolutely make that trade. I would not think twice about it. That is a no-brainer to me. And let's not forget that Milton is 25 years old. We're not talking about somebody who's, 21, 22. He's 25 years old. This might be the best Joe Milton will ever be. This right here might be his ceiling. That might be it. Played a lot of college football. What we saw from Milton against the Buffalo backups might be the best you're going to get, which, hey, might end up being a starting quarterback. Who knows? But are you willing to hold on and take that risk and say, no, we're going to keep him? We're going to keep him behind Drake May as our backup quarterback instead of taking a 3rd-round pick? I would absolutely make that move. I would not think twice about it. I would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. That would be a tremendous, tremendous asset to get for a guy you picked in the 6th round.